Welcome to QuaVerTV. I'm QuaVerTV. Before I ever made a beat, before I ever touched a mic, I was an East Coast head. Rick Rubin, Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, the raw energy of the boom bap. That was my foundation. But something changed. It wasn't gradual. It was dangerous. I remember the moment I heard Too Short. I remember when NWA dropped like a brick through my window. I wasn't ready, but I had no choice. My taste moved west. And on the west, it was Dre, it was Q, it was DOC, it was Kurupt. Not just rappers, spitters. And Dre wasn't just making beats, he was making blueprints. They say Dre inspired a sound. Nah. Dre inspired producers. He created architects. He gave birth to entire movements. He wasn't just behind the boards. He was birthing the boardroom. Sir Jinx, Warren G, DJ Quik, Daz Dillinger, Kurupt, Mel-Man, Eminem, 50 Cent, even Kendrick, all of them branches off that same tree. And me? I was just a kid in the Midwest, cutting open tape decks and trying to reverse engineer that sound. That funky worm sample from Ohio Players. I heard Dre flip it and I lost my mind. I tried to flip it myself, with nothing but a cassette and a dream. Then came the almond break. I studied that rhythm like it was the Torah. I wasn't a gangster, but Dre made me feel like I could be. Not because of violence, because of power. Because the drum said, I mattered. That's what Dre did. He gave sound to the silence, rhythm to rage, and structure to chaos. They try to say Dre was lucky, that he had good timing, that he had good talent around him. Nah. Dre didn't ride the wave, he created the tide. He built bridges out of broken voices. He took Snoop, laid back, effortless, almost lazy in tone, and made him the smoothest assassin in hip-hop history. He took Eminem, a white boy from Detroit with a chainsaw in his mouth, and turned him into a lyrical surgical strike. He took Kurupt, one of the most underrated spitters of all time, and gave him a lane where he could bend bars like steel. And me, when I started making beats, I wasn't trying to be Premier or Pete Rock. I was trying to be Dre. I wanted that swing, that snap, that perfect mix between clean and dirty, where the hi-hats shine, the snares crack, and the bass feels like a threat. And through it all, I saw something deeper. Dre didn't just teach the next generation how to make hits. He taught them how to command respect. Ask Warren G. He didn't ride Dre's coattails. He learned from him, then carved his own lane with Regulate. Ask Daz, who many say ghost produced for Death Row. Ask Quik, who matched Dre's perfectionism with funk genius. Even DOC. His voice gone, but his pen still echoing through Dre's legacy like a prophet through a prophet. This was mentorship disguised as dominance. This was black genius on full display in a system designed to eat it alive. But let's not get it twisted. Dre's influence wasn't clean. He came up in ruthless systems, label wars, egos, betrayals, deaths. He stood next to Suge Knight and walked away with his empire intact. He left Death Row and birthed Aftermath. Started from scratch. Again, took the L on Aftermath Presence, and came back with the Chronic 2001, one of the greatest comeback albums in history. Every sound, every feature, calculated. That's a general at war, playing chess with live ammo. Meanwhile, the ones around him, some burned out, some fell off, some didn't make it. But Dre, he built the ark and kept sailing. You can hate the man, but you can't hate the blueprint. Because even your favorite producer's favorite producer owes him something. So let's go back to the original claim. Dr. Dre didn't just produce records, he produced producers. He built cultures. He made style out of silence. He was the gateway drug for millions of us. Kids who didn't know how to loop a sample, but knew how that funky worm felt in our spine. He gave us permission to be excellent, to be detailed, to be sonic architects. I'm not here to praise Dre like a fanboy. I'm here to say, without him, there is no me. No beats, no bars, no QuaVerTV, no This Is Genius. And maybe you forgot how deep it went. But I didn't. Because once you hear that G-funk whistle, that warm bass roll, that pocket so tight you feel bulletproof, you don't unhear it. You spend the rest of your life trying to make something that real. Until next time, try and enjoy the daylight. This is genius.